In this lesson, we will understand what are arrays in Java. We will see multiple ways to create arrays and initialize values. With that, we will also see some examples to understand the array collection. In Java, an array is a fixed size data structure that stores multiple values of the same type in contiguous memory locations. These are accessible by an index starting at 0. Arrays can hold both primitive types like int, char and objects like string. Once declared, the size of an array cannot be changed. All elements must be of the same type. Therefore, these are homogeneous elements. I just told contiguous memory. So, array stores multiple values of the same type in contiguous memory locations, which enhances performance for sequential access. You can also relate arrays with vectors, but vectors are like growable arrays. I just told that once declared, the size of an array cannot be changed, but vectors are like growable arrays. Okay. You cannot resize an array after creation. If you'll do that, you'll get an array out of bounds exception. So there are two types of arrays, that is one-dimensional and multi-dimensional. We will discuss one-dimensional arrays in this lesson. Let's see how to work with one-dimensional arrays. So what is a one-dimensional array? It is an array with a single dimension. So to declare it, you just need to mention the data type, let's say int, then the variable name, and after that you need to use the square brackets in which you need to mention the size of the array. So here let us see how to declare a one-dimensional array. So we are creating an array of ints with the name marks. Here the syntax is visible. We have mentioned the data type name, then square brackets, and after that the name of the integer array. So this is how you declare an array in Java. So this is an array of integers now. After declaring it, you can mention the size. So here we are seeing a way by using the new operator. Mention the name of the variable, then the new operator, after that mention the data type and then the size. Okay. Now we will see how to create, declare and initialize with different ways. First, the method 1, you can create an array using the new operator like we saw before. It is like what we saw here. Okay. So when you declare an array with the new, can you see we did not mention the size? Why? Because we are initializing it in a single line, as we need to mention the size. So in method var we are using the new operator. First we have initialized integer array in the first line. Then using new, we have added 10 values to the marks like this. So we have also initialized an array. Now let us go to the second method in which we have created, declared and initialized in the same line. Just declare the array and after is equal to just mention the values of the array. So we have 10 elements in the array now. In the method 1 also we have 10 elements, but in method 1 we are using the new operator. If you don't want to use the new operator, you can just use the second method and add it in a single line. Here we did not mention the size. Why? Because we have initialized in a single line. Then comes method 3. In this we have mentioned the size. Can you see 10 here? Yes. Since we are initializing each and every element one by one, we need to mention the size so that the flow of execution understand that we have 10 elements in our array. So we have first created our array and we have added 10 spaces for it using the square brackets. Then one by one we have added the elements of the array. Mark 0 means the first element is 50. The second element is 89 for marks 1, and the flow goes on. I told you about indexes in array before. Here 0 means an index. For position 1 we have 0. For position 2 we have 1 index. For position 3 we have index 2. So it goes on till the end. Now let us see an example to understand arrays. Here we are creating an array and on the right I have shown how the values are assigned with indexes. So marks 0 will be 50, marks 1 will be 89, marks 2 will be 55, and the flow goes on. So let us see the same example and add the marks of 10 students in our integer array. So here is our first example of arrays in our Amit Java project. We have added a class, then the main function for execution. Okay, then we have taken a result variable because we will also add those marks. So here is our first method. We saw 3 methods. Here is our first method in which we used new. but we did not added the size of our array and added the 10 values. Okay. Then comes your method 2, in which we are creating a new array without using the new keyword. We added in a single line, but there was no need to add the size because the flow of execution now knows that we have 10 elements. There is no need to add the size. Then comes your method 3, in which we have added the size also and assigned the value one by one. That's why we need to add the size, because here we need to tell the execution. Here we need to tell that we have 10 elements so that we can add the element values here one by one. Also here, can you see Java array index out of bounds exception? Now the compiler knows that we have 10 elements. Okay. What if we try to add 11th value? It will show an error. Index 11 out of bounds for length 10. Okay. So this is also an error which can come. I told you arrays are not vectors, not growable. When you will first add them, you can't later on change it. Okay. So we are using the method 2 here. For our array, we have added 10 elements to our integer array using brackets. There is no need to mention the size because we are adding it in a single line. Then we are displaying the array using a for loop. We already saw for loop. Till marks.length, that is 10, it will execute, and one by one it will print each marks. Why we have added it like this? So that we can mention it like I plus 1, that is 0 plus 1, student 1 is equal to marks 1, student 2 is equal to marks 2. So first I'll run it. Till this we saw marks of all 10 students, one by one it was printing marks 1, 2, 3 student, right? This 1, 2, 3 is coming using I plus 1 here, and this marks I is the max of each student. Mark 0 it will take from the array, that is mark 0 is 50, marks 1 is 89, marks 2 is 55, and it goes on like this. And we are using the for loop to print each and every marks. Add those marks. Same loop, but here we are just using the result variable which we have assigned 0 so that we can add sum. Here result will be equal to 0 plus marks I, that is 0 plus marks I, mark 0 is 50, then marks 1 is 89. When the I will increment, it will be marks 1 and it will get added to the previous result, that is the result was having 50, then 50 plus 89, and similarly it will go for every marks and display the sum of our marks. So sum of 10 marks is 815. So in this way array execution goes on for one-dimensional arrays. So we saw this here. Similarly we can add other values to our array. So I have shown this example of adding other values so that the mark 0, 1 index concept is easy to understand. Now let us see an example to get the minimum value from an array. Here is our code to get the min from an array. So we have an integer array here with 5 elements. Okay, let's say the minimum value is mark 0, that is 50, and looping is from 0 to the marks length, that is 5. If marks is less than min val, so mark 0, that means is 50 less than 50? No, it won't go here. Next, the next increment, that is next iteration. Now it will check for, that is this marks 1, that is 89. Is 89 less than minimum value which was 50? No. Then it will check for here, is 40 less than the min value 50? Yes. So now the min value will be 40. For the next iteration, is 95 less than 40? No. Is 99 less than 40? No. So the min value 40 will get printed here. Okay, here it is. So in this way we can create arrays in Java. Okay, we saw 2 examples. Now the next one is multi-dimensional arrays, which are also called as arrays of arrays. We need to use 2 square brackets in it. We have discussed the multi-dimensional arrays in the next lesson. So guys, we saw what are arrays in Java. We saw multiple ways to add it. With that we saw 2 examples. Thank you for watching the video.